Okay, so I'm interviewing Jen McBride. She is one of our online teachers in 4th grade, and they're split up into content areas. And so Jen does the math. So Jen, do you want to explain kind of how you create the lesson that you do?
Yep. So to start off with, I have my initial video so the kids know that they are supposed to click on this, and that is my bulk of my teaching. It is my recorded lesson that goes through the major content of the day. Then I have a couple of resource slides that I found. I won't read through the whole resource slide with them, but they know that as they're completing their lesson, they can come back and refer to these. So they don't necessarily have to go back and rewatch my video then try to find the exact space where I discussed this. Then they have this explore section where I've gone to YouTube and try to find supplementary videos that will help them out. They pick one to watch. It's just something extra for them, and to hear another voice and someone else to explain the same concept. And then today we're learning all about decimals and fractions. So I just found a online math manipulatives that they could manipulate themselves and to show and create their 100th place. And then once they did that for the page in their math journal today, they were to check for their understanding. They actually shared their screen on the Flipgrid, and they click here as they know, and they're supposed to explain in their own Flipgrid their creation that they made on this tool and explain the 100th place that they created. And sorry, lost my spot. There we go. Okay. And then at the end, the checklist is just to remind them what they were supposed to accomplish on each slide, and specifically what math journal pages they needed to accomplish by the end of the lesson. The last slide just tells them what time we are meeting back. So I just greet them at the beginning, really just go over expectations, hold back any kid that I need to check in with, and then they know to meet back at this time. We go over questions at that time about the lesson for that day, and any other content that I want to go over to ensure that they understand what's going on.
Cool. Can you explain I saw earlier you were talking about the Flipgrid challenge. Sure. So explain to that to me.
That was kind of an on the fly, Mrs. McBride. So motivating kiddos, virtually motivating kids in general, as you know, can be a little challenging. So I've tried to come up with a weekly challenge for them. Last week was based on live attendance. So I just recorded how many kiddos came, and I just challenged them, hey, who can have the period that has the most kids show up to the live sessions? And they were super pumped to join, just trying to find ways to motivate them. This week, I just did percentage of how many are completing their Flipgrids. Nice. Follow through is always something that, making sure they know they're being held accountable. Hey, I do look at your Flipgrids. I reply to them. Just having that knowledge of, okay, this is our new challenge for the week. Just like I said, motivates them a little bit and gets them excited to try to have something different, even though they're at home every single day.
So what do you use as, like, I heard one of the students talking about a reward.
Yes.
So what do you decide to do if they're the winner?
So last week I did to go a little above and beyond last week, and I mailed the winning class some McDonald's coupons I got for Halloween. And nice. So I just wrote them a letter that said, congratulations, your class won. And then it was super cheap. And then they got 2 or 3 of those McDonald's like ice cream or free hamburger coupons. That it was just a simple way to touch base with them at their house, since we don't really have that connection right now.
Nice. So do you have any bit of advice to someone that may be transitioning to online teaching? Sure. Well, we all know that it didn't start out great at the beginning. We have bumpy roads, but what would be some advice that you could give to somebody?
As far as students go, I would just say make sure they have a timer of some type. That would be my biggest thing. Is I'm pretty big on accountability, and it's like, hey, if I can see your face and I know you're here and we're working together, we're meeting back at this time, and keep the time consistent. My periods know this is Mrs. McBride's meet back time. I found a lot more success with that, having that time. I would say take it slow. Flipgrid and Wiser Me and Google Slides, that's where I landed a lot my first quarter. I'm kind of dabbling in Edpuzzle and dabbling in Pear Deck right now. I am by no means an expert at anything, but I have had experience in some things, and that experience I'm willing to share. So just making sure that I keep telling myself I'm starting off slow, but in reality, I mean, I feel like I've really mastered those things, and so I'm able to kind of reach out and try something new and hopefully engage students more as we do so.